Hey everyone! Today I'm about to flip your perspective on wealth. Here's a harsh truth. Being rich isn't enough. You can have millions in assets, but without cash flow you could end up broke. Trust me, there are stories that will make you rethink your entire financial plan. Stick with me right till the end as I break down why it's not about how much you own, but how much money is consistently flowing into your bank account. This is essential if you live in cities like Singapore, New York, London, Sydney, or Toronto. Don't forget to like and subscribe for YouTube algorithm to promote this video to help more people. Imagine owning a $5 million home, but you're struggling to pay your utility bills. Sounds crazy, right? But it happens. I'll show you how people get trapped in the asset-rich, cash-poor cycle, and why you need to avoid it at all costs by focusing on cash flow. And I've got some real-life examples that will make you sit up and take notice. Point 1. Asset-rich, cash-poor. Let me tell you about an elderly couple in Singapore. They live in a $15 million bungalow. You'd think they'd be living the high life, right? But here's the shocker. They're struggling to pay basic bills like groceries and property taxes. They're even asking friends for help to cover meal costs. How did they get here? Turns out, they never focused on building cash flow. Sure, they own a super expensive home, but their liquid cash ran out. Without a steady stream of income, they're trapped in a house that's more of a burden than a blessing. This could happen to anyone, even you. Do you know of anyone who live in luxurious bungalow but have no money for daily expenses? How will you prevent this from ever happening? Type your comments below. Point 2. Living expenses outpace savings. Here's another example from a retiree in California. He retired with $1 million in savings, which sounds like a lot, but his monthly expenses, property taxes, home maintenance, healthcare, quickly started eating into that money. Within a few years, he had drained nearly half of his savings just to keep up with costs. The lesson here? Just because you own an asset or have money in the bank doesn't mean you're financially secure. If your living expenses are higher than your income, you're heading for trouble. That's why cash flow is essential. It's what keeps you afloat long after your regular paycheck stops. Do you ensure that your income exceeds your expenses? Type your comments below. Point 3. Cash flow versus net worth. Now let's talk about net worth. A lot of people focus on having a high net worth, which can include your home, your savings, even your car. But here's the deal. Net worth is not the same as cash flow. Take the story of Rainey from Sydney. She's a lawyer who worked for 20 years, accumulated a lot of assets, and had a net worth of over $3 million. But when she lost her job during an economic downturn, she quickly realized that she had very little cash flow. With no income stream, she had to sell her house at a loss just to cover her lifestyle costs. The lesson? You can have millions in net worth, but without cash flow, you're just one bad event away from financial disaster. Do you know of anyone who has to sell their house to cover their daily expenses when they lost their job? And how will you create cash flow to mitigate this? Type your comments below. Point 4. The power of passive income. Passive income is the real hero here. Let me introduce you to Mabel from Toronto. She started investing in dividend-paying stocks in her early 30s. Slowly but surely, her income grew. And by the time she was 45, her passive income from dividends was enough to cover her mortgage, utilities, and even her vacations. While Mabel's friends were worried about how they'd pay their bills during a recession, she was chilling on a beach in Bali. Why? Because her passive income gave her freedom. That's what being cash flow rich is all about, having the security to live life on your terms. Have you started building your passive income? Type your comments below. Point 5. Building cash flow takes time. Now, let me keep it real. Building cash flow doesn't happen overnight. Take Mark from London. He started with just $100 a month in dividend stocks when he was 25. He didn't see huge returns at first, but he stayed consistent, investing a little more each month. By the time he hit 40, his passive income was enough to cover half his living expenses. Building passive income is like planting a tree. You won't get shade right away, but if you nurture it, one day it'll grow big enough to protect you financially. You just have to start, even if it's small. Have you started planting the tree that will shield you from the hot sun? Type your comments below. Point 6. Passive income as insurance. Think of passive income as your insurance policy for life's curveballs. Look at Mary from Melbourne. She was laid off during the pandemic. But because she had rental income coming in from a property she bought years ago, she wasn't stressed. That rental income was her lifeline, covering her essential expenses when she had no job. The key here? Passive income is like insurance, but better, because it keeps paying you, month after month, while protecting you from life's uncertainties. Have you been creating an insurance against job loss? Type your comments below. Point 7. How to start building cash flow. So, how do you get started building cash flow? It's easier than you think. Here's what you can do. 1. Start investing in dividend-paying stocks. They provide regular payouts that can grow over time. 2. Consider rental properties. If you can manage the upfront costs, rental income can provide a steady cash flow. 3. Launch a side hustle. Something you enjoy doing that can bring in extra income. For example, Michelle in New York started selling digital art on Etsy. She didn't expect much, but over a year it became a significant source of income that supplements her 9-to-5. Small steps can lead to big results. Do you know of anyone who has done incredibly well in their side hustle? Type your comments below. Point 8. Financial freedom through cash flow. Financial freedom comes from replacing earned income with passive income. Look at Terrence from Singapore. He started small, but over time his passive income streams grew to the point where he no longer had to rely on his salary. Now, he works because he wants to, not because he has to. The ultimate goal is to have your passive income cover all your living expenses. That's when you know you're truly financially free. Do you know of anyone whose passive income exceeds their earned income? Type your comments below. So, here's the bottom line. Don't just focus on being rich, focus on being cash flow rich. It's what gives you the financial security to live life on your own terms. Whether you're in Singapore, New York, London, Sydney, or Toronto, this concept applies to all of us. Start small, invest consistently, and over time, you'll be amazed at how much financial freedom you can achieve. If this video opened your eyes, hit that like button and subscribe for more tips on how to build wealth the smart way, through cash flow. Let's make cash flow, not just net worth, your top financial goal. Keep a lookout for my next video on how to get a $1 million portfolio and how to get $60,000 passive income. See you soon.